In this week's Parsha, we get a little bit of a real estate lesson. When we buy real estate, there's two types of real estate we can buy. One's called a fee simple, where you own not just the land, but also the building. And then the other one is called a leasehold interest, where you actually buy the building, but you don't own the ground. You actually pay rent to another party. You have a lease, and at some point that lease expires, and you lose the ground and the building. Investors like fee simple, more control, and like less leasehold interest, less control. In this week's Parsha, Parshas Behar, we have a concept called Yovel. Yovel teaches us that land can never be sold in forever. In the 50th year, we actually return our slaves, we free our slaves, and return our real estate back to the original owner. Why? Because Hashem tells us, Ki li haaretz, the land is mine. Everything is on a ground lease in the land of Israel. Everything. You are just tenants. You don't own it forever. You're just paying rent to me. Eventually it comes back to me. A very powerful concept, especially in a world where we're constantly busy amassing wealth, chasing the dollar. We have this sort of false sense of immortality. And the Pasuk says, no, you're just tenants here. You actually have an expiration date in your lease. Pirkei Avos, Ethics of Our Fathers, teaches us that Olam Hazeh Daime LePrazdor, that this world that we live, our 70, 80, 120 years, is compared to like a banquet hall, like a wedding. Or just like in a wedding where the lights are on, the music's playing, and the waiters are scurrying around, serving us food. During the wedding time, we should grab whatever we can. But at some point, we know the lights are going to go out, the music's going to stop, and the waiters are going to go home. That what we should be grabbing are the Torah and the mitzvahs. Those are the things that are going to help us in the next world. There's a beautiful story that brings this message home. The story of a man that was summoned to the king's palace, and his life was hanging in life and death. And he went to his best friend, his friend that he sees in shul all the time, has Shabbos with. They call each other during the day. They're close friends. They think about each other all the time. And he asks his friend, please accompany me to the king's palace and tell him what a sterling character I have, what a charitable person I am. And the friend said, no, I won't leave my house for that. I'm not going to be accompanying you. Very disappointed. He went to his second best friend. This friend he saw much less. Maybe see him early in shul in the morning, but maybe a few times a week. Didn't spend a lot of time with them. And says, please, would you maybe consider accompanying me to the king's palace? Tell him what a wonderful guy I am. He says, I'll walk you to the king's palace, but I won't go inside. So he's left to go to his third friend. We're always disappointed with our friends. His third friend ironically says, sure, I'll go with you to the king's palace and I'll walk in with you and I'll testify all the wonderful things you've done in this world. The metaphor here is that our best friend usually in this world is our pursuit of wealth. It's our friend is our money. And often that takes the most time that we have, the pursuit of money, amassing wealth. Our second best friend is our family, our children. Oftentimes we'll go the whole day not seeing our second best friend, our family, because we're with our other best friend, the pursuit of money. The third best friend, ironically, are those things that connect us to the Torah, to mitzvahs, to charity, to chesed, to acts of kindness. Those are the things actually that testify in the next world. What a wonderful person. What do we really do with our time? It's not the money. And so it reminds us, this week's Parsha, the concept of Yovel, the returning of our land back to the original owner, the fact that we can't sell anything forever, that everything has a time limit, has a lease to it, reminds us that we're here really to be involved with things that are going to give us leverage, that are going to give us wealth in the next world. And that's the dedication of Torah and mitzvahs. Those are the things that we need to be busy with. This time of year, as we plan for the holiday Shavuos, we need to drive that point home, that the balance sheet we're looking for should be rich with Torah and mitzvahs. Have a wonderful Shabbos.